Welcome back, everybody. This is JP Trades. Let's take a look at Bitcoin for this morning. We are coming into a very, very nice potential long setup now. We are hitting the naked point of control with precision. Let's take a look at our local golden pocket. We are hitting that naked point of control as well as a 786 right now. We also have a nice order block there. So this could be a potential long to continue this uptrend that we have. So if you want to continue this 1 hour uptrend and continue this on into the 4 hour, this is what we're looking for. We need to bounce from this area or sweep this low, close above it, and continue this uptrend. Because if we break below this low, I would consider coming back down to this low here. Why is this low important? Well, for me, it is important due to structure. Let's check the 4 hour really quick. It is even our 4 hour low. So if we are taking our market structure pool from the bottom, this is what you're looking at. So this is our previous low. So let's go ahead and mark this out. Now, if you're taking it from the downtrend, this would not be your 4 hour low. Technically, if we're taking into account the 4 hour downtrend, this would be your low. So I'm actually going to use this as a 1 hour market structure. That is your 1 hour pending market structure shift. If we do close below this low, I would expect us to build a range here. So I would be looking at this as a range, and we could start to see a bigger accumulation and just ranging here. So it would be nice to see something like this and then come back down and then have a tap 1, tap 2, and tap 3, wipe off accumulation here, or the tap 3 for a model 1 accumulation. Any of those would be nice. Otherwise, I also am looking at this scenario to have another tap 3 up here. So this would be tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, and have more of that V-shaped reversal. So if we go back to our 4 hour, let's follow our downtrend to find, so this high right here, and we need to find our structure shift. So this is our 4 hour bullish pending market structure shift. This gives us the idea that the 1 hour, because our 1 hour has already shifted from this low, we took out this low here. So 1 hour is already bullish. So to continue this 1 hour into the 4 hour market structure, we want to see it close above this and start trading above. So technically we would want to see this trend continue like that. And once we're above this for the candle close, that means our trend has shifted back bullish on the 4 hour. And I would expect that we would probably end up coming back to this high. And then, of course, if we break this high, I would then look to this high. If we break this high, I would look to that high. So now let's go back down to our 15-minute time frame and let's take a look at our scalps and day trades that make sense that we can take trades for today. So let's turn on the order blocks really quick. And we can see that we obviously are coming down to this naked point of control inside this order block. And again, it was the local 786 here. We did reject nicely yesterday from this breaker block. And I don't use breaker blocks very often. Like I've said in some of my videos, I really only use one style of order block, and I made a YouTube video on that. However, I do have one solid breaker block. I use only one solid breaker block, and it's very rare that I use it because they actually don't come around very often. So, however, this is one of those scenarios where it did happen to come around and it worked very nicely. So we did reject from this order block and that could VWAP yesterday. And let's go back to let's go back to the 1 hour because I believe this was a golden pocket as well. Yeah, so we did reject from a golden pocket and that could VWAP as well as that breaker block. So it is a nice rejection. Again, we have these two main market structure points to look at. If we do bounce here, I am planning to take the long. So if we bounce here, I want to target this high here and take that out. And so I would then look for an SFP of this high, or preferably if I'm in a long, I want to take out that high and then go up here to the next level. I would be looking for a short here. However, if we don't get a confirmation in the zone, let's do something really quick. I want to look at the volume inside this small range. Yeah, if we get up here, I'm really only interested in this very first quarter of this order block, to be honest with you, where the naked point of control is. Otherwise, I think we're going to go up and take out this 4 hour high. So I wanted to take a look at that first before I said anything about it. However, let's take a look at this volume pool as well. So we did reject from the point of control. Let's pull our Fibonacci. Okay, so now let's draw our plans out. Number one would be an SFP of this high and this value area high and come back in the range, come down. These two order blocks here, I don't have any good reason why they would lead to a massive move. So I would just treat these as a very, very short scalp. Of course, we're getting a nice bounce here from naked point of control, as well as our order block. However, it looks like it might come back down on us one more time. And of course, I would be looking for an SFP here, but you would have to close above this low, an SFP this low, and hit into this order block with these high volume levels here. And I would take this as our kind of the line in the sand for like the 1 hour to feed into this 4 hour. Because if you start to close below this and you back test it, I believe that we're going to go down here or eventually go down to the lows. We do have nice confluence in this zone here for a long. Again, I would rather see an SFP come down with a wick and then trade back above this on the 1 hour. So I would be looking for a 1 hour or 4 hour SFP right here. Otherwise, we come down to this monthly and have a nice long, or we SFP the low into this order block and into those high volume levels. If we do make it above this high, I would watch again for the first quarter to first third of this order block to get hit right in this area, and watch for a market structure shift there. And last but not least, I would watch for an SFP of this high. So we have a lot of nice areas for scalps today. We have a lot of order blocks across the screen, which is, again, really good for scalpers and intraday traders because it gives us lots of nice high volume levels to trade from. And that's going to be it for my Bitcoin update today. I will update in the Discord as things go along.